Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Investor Fuel podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. Today I'm joined by someone I've been looking forward to chatting with. We have Chris here with us, who's been making serious moves in the lending space and really innovative in his work. Really glad to have you here with us today, Chris. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from how you're approaching new innovations with Bitcoin and AI. So I'm excited to dive in with you.
Appreciate it. It's great to be here.
So first off, for people who may not be familiar with you and your world, can you give us the short version? What's your main focus these days?
So my main focus is AI. About a year and a half ago, I got very entrenched in AI. The more I peel away the layers of AI, I start realizing that this is literally the end game for any business out there. I don't care. I'll give you a great example. I have 4 dogs, and less than a week ago, I had AI write me a series of children's stories about my 4 dogs called The Adventures of the Champion Squad. And I literally now have a cartoon series that I'm getting generated by another AI tool of those stories. So not only are they stories that can be read to children, they're actually cartoons that they can be downloaded and bought for $4.95. And I literally have a cartoon series that I've created about my 4 dogs, all written and created by AI, that generates me $4.95 every download. Well, if you think about that, that was incredibly more difficult before what came along years ago. It would take a lot longer, and it would take a lot more dollars and resources to do that. I did that in less than a week. That's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, that is super mind-blowing.
And I tell people this all the time. That's a form of getting AI to work for you. So you have AI create this video series of your 4 dogs, and you put it up for sale on YouTube or Apple or whatever stores you want to do. And now people, when they're driving on a long trip, they give their small child the iPad, and that cartoon series entertains them. And I also did some research. Most cartoons are like 3 to 5 minutes long. But if you give them a cartoon series that's a half hour long, it's enough time that the trip that they're driving in can occupy their mind. And that's what parents want, is they want their child occupied so they're not driving them cuckoo while they're driving to the grocery store or wherever.
Absolutely. And yeah, I would just love to hear a little bit more about your business and what you're doing with that.
I think my business is being an entrepreneur, a visionary. I've been lucky to exit a few companies and have capital to invest and deploy. And when I see an opportunity, I vet it out and then I jump on it. And a lot of people, in life, people are scared to take a leap forward or take a risk on themselves.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I actually look at betting on yourself as the best bet you could ever make. Like if you're going to invest in something in life, some people invest in lottery tickets, some people invest in sports betting, but most people are afraid to invest in themselves. Most people are afraid to take a risk on themselves. And I think to myself, why would you risk your money on a horse running around a racetrack before you risk that same amount of money on yourself? Or why would you risk money on a blackjack table when you're not willing to risk that money on yourself? Take that money and buy, go for a business, spend money on saying, hey, I've got this idea. Let me see if it's got potential to generate money for myself and my family.
Yeah, absolutely. That is such an important thing that people really want to, just understand deeper.
Yeah, you
Awesome.
are your best bet. You are always your best bet. And too many people forget that. And they're like, oh, well, I'm willing to bet on myself, but, I'd rather go play blackjack, or I'd rather bet on football, or I'd rather buy a lottery ticket. All three of those are a worse bet than yourself because you control the outcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, what really caught my attention about you was the way that you've been able to leverage these newer technologies like cryptocurrency and AI. And yeah, I would just love to hear more about that.
I think at the end of the day, we have to understand that the American banking system is a failure. Since we've gone off the gold standard, you have to look at the US dollar. It's lost 98% of its buying power since 1972. And it continues to do that because we have idiot politicians that keep printing dollars. And as you keep printing more dollars, those dollars become worth less. Not worthless, but worth less. And we have a system that is ultimately going to drive the bus off the cliff. So I tell people all the time, if you think your money in the bank is safe, go look at countries like Greece or Lebanon. People that have $15,000 in the bank at Greece, they can only get $60 a week out of the bank. So is it really your money? No, it's not. People have money in Lebanon, the same situation. They can only get, I want to say, $100 a week out of the bank. No matter how much money you got in, they'll only let you take $100 a week out. So the bank is really not solvent, and that's not a good place for your money. Cryptocurrency gives you control over your money. It is a store of value that you have access to at all times.
Absolutely. That is so wise and important.
Well, you think about it too. Bitcoin's been the best performing asset for the last 12 years. Better performing asset than gold, stocks, real estate, you name it.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you using Bitcoin when it comes to real estate?
So we recently announced at the Bitcoin conference in Las Vegas, the largest commercial note ever done staked by Bitcoin. So you go to a bank typically for a commercial note and you invest that money into a real estate venture like Golf Suites or a real estate venture like real estate. And then the bank gets the interest payments. Well, here, coin holders can now stake their Bitcoin and they get the interest payments, and they get the interest payments paid in Bitcoin. It was a $105 million deal. We've got another one we're working on that's right behind that. And it was the largest commercial note ever staked by Bitcoin.
Wow, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Are you teaching other investors how to leverage Bitcoin, or how are you continuing to grow this?
So our goal is to really educate people on how to literally take control of their money and literally use Bitcoin. When you sell Bitcoin, you have taxable liabilities. Therefore, if you can borrow against Bitcoin and get a yield, you don't have to sell it. You don't have to create a taxable liability. So people have to understand there's ways to use Bitcoin. And if you need cash, you don't have to liquidate it. You can borrow against it now. It's a $2 trillion asset. It might even be more. It might be $3 trillion.
Wow, that is so powerful.
Yeah. Do you own any Bitcoin?
Like $200.
Okay. So let me give you a little tip. If you buy Bitcoin today, let's say you put $100 a week into Bitcoin today, I always tell people that $100 it's like you're buying $100,000 in the future. You're taking $100 of US dollars and you're buying Bitcoin, which is a better store of value. And it also has a limited supply, whereas the US dollar has an infinite supply.
Sorry, go ahead.
At the end of the day, if all you do is take $100 a week for the next year and put it in Bitcoin, it may not seem like a lot, but you're buying future money at a multiple of probably 10x. So imagine if you could literally take $100 and say, I'm not going to touch that for 5 years.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
And that $100 in 5 years is worth $1,000 down the road. That's what you're doing when you buy Bitcoin today. And I tell people, you don't have to buy $1 million today. Buy $50 a week, buy $100 a week, buy $1,000 a week, whatever you want.
So you recommend dollar cost average versus waiting for the price to drop?
Yeah, because everyone thinks that they can like pinpoint when the price is going to drop, when it's going to go up. Listen, you're going to buy Bitcoin because it's the best digital asset on the planet. So you're literally putting your money into that. What you do with that digital asset, you could borrow against it. You can do all kinds of things, but you're buying it because it's the best store of value. There's no better store of value. Not real estate, not stocks, not bonds, not treasuries, nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. And how are you like connecting this with the real estate world? Like, are you just teaching people to use it
So
as
we're literally
leverage?
we're turning commercial notes instead of just being available from private equity and banks. Now Bitcoiners, people that are storing and staking Bitcoin, can stake their Bitcoin and get paid the interest payments on a commercial note. So they can literally own part of a commercial note for a real estate project that's $105 million. Instead of the bank getting the interest, the people that are staking their Bitcoin get the interest.
And is your role mainly educating people, or how like do you work in this dynamic?
So Champion Capital is my company that created this model. And my goal is to educate people, but more importantly, give people the opportunity to literally put their Bitcoin up and stake it against some of the commercial notes out there that are over collateralized pieces of real estate. It's beautiful when you get a commercial note and the collateralization is 300%, because most commercial notes, you're getting 80% loan to value. In the notes that we're doing, we're getting about 300% collateralization. So literally we're over collateralizing the note, therefore reducing the risk.
Yeah, that's really big. And not a lot of people are talking about that.
Nobody is. We created
Yeah.
this vehicle in May, and we've got one project that's 105 million, and we've got another one behind it that's 888 million.
Amazing. So let me ask you this. What are you most focused on solving or scaling next?
I think the greatest thing that I'm trying to do right now is help people understand that you have got to get AI to work for you right now, because AI is like the little Pac-Man. It is eating every job it can get its hands on. This week we saw Tesla open up a diner, and in that diner they have Optimus robots that are literally giving you popcorn. Well, think about this. If they open a diner and they get robots to do the popcorn work and all the work in a restaurant, there's no job for kids anymore. No kid is going to work in a fast food place anymore. You just have robots, because what a robot does is they don't make mistakes. They don't complain. They don't show up late for work. They work 24 hours a day.
Yeah. And how can people leverage AI, like especially when it comes to real estate investing?
I think one of the best things that they can do with AI is create AI tools. I'll give you a great example. I think you and I were just talking about this. I have 4 dogs. Literally 2 weeks ago, I wrote a short series of short stories about my 4 dogs, the adventures of the Champion Squad. And then I fed that information into a tool, an AI tool that creates cartoons. And now I'm selling those cartoons so that children can watch a half hour's worth of cartoons while their parents are driving to the grocery store. That is a way that I could have never done that in 2 weeks in the past without having AI as a tool. That's how you can use AI to work for you. I build a series of cartoons and I sell those cartoons in the future, and I used AI to basically get to work for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know most of the listeners here are maybe getting started with real estate investing or looking to level up. So how can those people use AI for their business?
So at the end of the day, there's so many applications to AI you can't even imagine. But if you, as long as you have cash being generated by an AI project that you've developed, I always tell people you have to get AI to work for you so you can spit out cash. So you, with that cash flow, you can invest that cash into real estate. One thing that real estate demands from you is cash flow and capital. And as long as you have cash flow and capital, you can invest in a series of real estate projects.
That's important for sure.
Yeah. And it's important for people to understand that you can get AI to work for you. And the beauty of AI is it works 24 hours a day, every single day. It doesn't take any breaks. So once you build these AI models that work for you, it's just a matter of scaling it.
Well, did you learn about this all? Were you self-taught or how did this come about for you?
There's a lot of tools online where you can learn about them. In fact, to be honest with you, you can go to Grok right now, which is the AI tool built by Elon Musk's team. And Grok will teach you everything you need to know. You could literally spend hours asking questions to Grok, and Grok will give you the answers. It's literally, there's no limit to what you can learn right now. In fact, AI, I think, is going to ultimately dramatically change the educational system in this country, which has failed.
That's really powerful.
Yeah. I think a lot of kids are going to start getting homeschooled by AI teachers.
I'm not sure how good that is.
Have you seen the school system lately? It's got to be an improvement.
I mean, yeah, I have my own opinion I'll keep to myself, but I believe in like human connection.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
We're watching America's educational system collapse. I mean, we've got massive issues with our educational system. Kids don't even read at a fifth grade level by the time they graduate high school in some major cities. Yeah. So you got to say to yourself,
I definitely didn't have that. I had quite a high level, I feel.
Yeah. And that's a shame too, because, some of the cities like Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, San Francisco, they're putting kids in a position to fail in life. If you don't give kids an education during their years where they can learn, which is high school and grade school ages, if you don't give them an education, you're putting them on a path to failure. And that's what we're looking at right now is we've got to use AI to educate kids at an earlier age and improve the educational system because it's horribly broken.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I know a lot of people listening to this show are, like I said earlier, in their investor journey or looking to level up. And I think they could benefit from hearing this. When it comes to building relationships and growing your network with your business, what has been the most beneficial thing for you?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Everyone's got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you want to get in the right room with the right people at the right time, offer them breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I've thrown over 300 high-value breakfast, lunches, and dinners, and I can tell you right now, when you sit with a group of people at a dinner or at a lunch or at a breakfast, one thing is in common. Everyone puts their phone away. They have real conversations. You connect at a very high level. But when you're at a convention or a conference, and let's say, for example, you're on stage speaking. I've spoken on many stages. But if you could look outside into the audience, you'll see that 90% of the people are tweeting and TikToking and texting and checking their stock prices and, watching a video on YouTube. They're not paying attention to you. But if you get off that stage and you just literally sit down with less people over a lunch or a breakfast or a dinner, you have real conversations. You make real connections. So I tell people, it's not about the quantity. It's about the quality of your connections.
Absolutely. Relationships are everything in this space.
Yep.
Yeah. So what would you say if you have an investor listening and maybe they don't know much about crypto or AI, but they're really curious and they want to see how it can support their business? Like, where can they start?
I think at the end of the day, I've got a YouTube channel, I've got an Instagram page. I share as much information as I can freely so that people can literally educate themselves. Nobody's ever going to hold you by the hand and carry you through life. But the more you can feed this brain, people always worry about feeding their body. Breakfast comes along, they go to Dunkin' Donuts. Lunch comes along, they go to McDonald's. Dinner comes along, they go to Chipotle. They're always worried about feeding their face, but you got to feed your brain. And just like your body, if you don't feed your brain good things, you won't learn good things. You won't create the knowledge that you necessarily need. People feed their body crap and they end up becoming unhealthy. People don't feed their brain anything good and they end up becoming poor or economically poor or educatedly poor.
It is very valid. Definitely the more that we can teach ourselves new things and expand our knowledge and our awareness, the more that serves every area of our life.
I agree. Like I said, you got to feed the noodle. You got to feed it every single day. The more you feed your brain, the more powerful you become. Knowledge is power.
How do you feed your brain?
Audiobooks. I love audiobooks. Audiobooks and YouTube and X. I think Twitter is a great place. The former platform known as Twitter, X. You can really connect with people and there's a lot of great information there.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, go ahead.
And the other thing too is I tell people this. The greatest free resource in the world is podcasts. You can listen to somebody be interviewed for 30 minutes. And in that 30 minutes, if all you do is learn one thing you didn't know, that is like you just put that nugget of information in your brain by listening to a podcast. You're maybe driving in your car, maybe you're at the gym working out. Podcasts are the best way to learn. And then you can also learn from who you want to connect with, who you want to follow. There's some great people out there that are leaders that are sharing knowledge. Those are the people that, if you get a chance to meet them one day, those are the people you want to put in your circle in life.
Absolutely. Who you surround yourself with, what you watch is so crucial. All right. So before we wrap up, if someone wants to reach out to you, connect with you, maybe collaborate or just learn more about what you're doing, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Call me. My number is 702-389-5866. Or just send me a text.
Perfect. Well, listen, I really appreciate your time, your story, and your perspective. We really need more people out here who are thinking outside of the box and doing innovative things. So thank you for being here.
You're awesome. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Yeah. And for those of you tuning in, if you got value from this, make sure you're subscribed. We've got more conversations coming.
Yeah, pound the subscribe button.
Yes, more conversations are coming with operators just like Chris who are out here building real businesses. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.